Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. Paris Saint-Germain have once again been linked with so many players in the recent time, and I've picked 5 players that we're going to talk about and discuss in today's video. Let's start with Bruno Guimarães, obviously 26 years of age, contract expiring in 2028 with a market value of 85 million euros. But he has a 110 million release clause that Paris Saint-Germain could be activating. And this release clause is paid in 4 installments, which makes the transfer much easier and much simpler. We were obviously linked with Bruno heavily in the January transfer window, with Luis Enrique wanting him badly, but Luis Campos felt the transfer fee was too high and we didn't really have the amount of money to make that transfer happen. But recently reports has come out that says PSG was scouting and watched Bruno Guimares in action versus Manchester City last Saturday. Paris is continuing to monitor the Brazilian, who's increasingly frustrated with Newcastle's season. Obviously know that if Bruno Guimares wants to leave Newcastle United, which he would probably want to do, especially this summer, plus Newcastle United need to get money for FFP if they want to sign some other players, and he's a good asset they can be selling this summer, and Paris Saint-Germain is obviously his most preferred destination. Give this transfer a likelihood in the summer of a 7 out of 10. Very likely. Next up, another French starlet, Desire Doue, 18 years of age, contract expiring in 2026 with a 20 million market value. So his contract is going to end in 2 seasons times. And obviously the recent big report that came out that indicated a lot of stuff was this from Sport Zone. Desire Doue's new agent, Moussa Sissoko, wants to place the young midfielder at PSG. Although talks regarding it have not yet started, the Frenchman is considering the idea of leaving Rennes this summer. Several other clubs are also interested in him. So Desire Doue will probably leave this summer or the summer after that, because Rennes, I mean, they wouldn't want to lose him for no money at all. So they're going to sit and negotiate. Obviously, they want as much money as possible for this player. So Premier League clubs having competition and all of that will bump up his price. And obviously, Luis Campos likes the player with a report coming out last year. Luis Campos would want to recruit Desire Doue to PSG. He appreciates his profile a lot. Desire Doue, obviously, young talent. PSG want him. And recently, with going into Moussa Sissoko, who is also Ousmane Dembele's agent, gives Paris Saint-Germain even more leverage in this transfer signing. A likelihood of this transfer happening in the summer, at the moment, 50%. Next up is Leny Yoro, 18 years of age, contract expiring in 2025, so he will 100% be leaving this summer, with Lille wanting a transfer fee for the player with a 25 million market value, which should be much higher, but because of his contract situation, it's that low. Obviously, Lille will be asking for around 40 up to 70, 80 million euros for the player. We have really tough competition from Real Madrid. Leny Yoro has to make a decision whether he wants to go to Paris Saint-Germain or to Real Madrid. And obviously, Leny Yoro was extremely close joining Paris Saint-Germain in January, with 2 big reporters mentioning it. Leny Yoro has agreed to join PSG. Lille wants a transfer fee worth 60 million euros. Paris wants to sign him this month, but if it doesn't work out this month, then PSG will sign him in the summer. Real Madrid had discussions with Leny Yoro's entourage. The player planned to join PSG in the winter. Everything is still open. So this is clear. Leny Yoro wanted to join Paris Saint-Germain in January, but Lille did not want to sell in January because they are focusing on getting as good of a position in the Ligue 1 table to play European football. Since then, a lot of reports have come out, obviously, because Real Madrid have been sending scouts to the Lille games to look at Leny Yoro and his performances, and that has made the competition even tougher for Paris Saint-Germain. Obviously, Chelsea, United, Liverpool, other clubs are linked, but it's obviously clear that Leny Yoro will only choose between Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid in this summer, with reports coming out. Leny Yoro considers Real Madrid a fantastic destination, but his future is still open. Still no decision has been made or communicated yet. PSG is also still there, and the store remains open. Real Madrid are also in the race for him. However, PSG represents serious competition in signing him, and Paris is keen to ensure that Yoro remains in Ligue 1. PSG is keeping the contacts active for Leny Yoro. Paris is still in the race to sign him in the summer, after Lille refused to sell him in this January. Real Madrid is also interested. They're planning to send scouts again to follow Yoro this month. PSG are trying to move forward in talks to sign Lille defender Leny Yoro. United City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Bayern, and Real continue to be linked with Lille 18-year-old France player. And Yoro still expected this summer on the PSG side, even if the biggest European teams follow him, and mainly Real Madrid. Obviously, recently, Marca and mainly Jose Felix Diaz, and especially Jose Felix Diaz has been reporting the absolute opposite. and that he's pretty much a Real Madrid player in the making. New, Leny Yoro has told Lille management that he wants to play for Real Madrid. Real Madrid have declared their interest in Leny Yoro. Currently, they're leading the race to sign Leny Yoro this summer. Lille are refusing to sell him to Paris Saint-Germain. So that is the Spanish marca Felix Diaz, who is obviously a mouthpiece for Real Madrid, works for the club, so he's obviously going to say the most positive thing when it comes to the club. And obviously, recently, Kimm just copied their news and said Real Madrid are one step ahead when it comes to the Leny Yoro race. It's very hard for me to believe everything from Joao Felix Diaz because a lot of it is contradicting itself. First of all, they're talking about Lille not wanting to sell to Paris Saint-Germain when a huge report in January said that that's not Lille's biggest thing. And second of all, Lille don't even have that much power. With him only having 1 year left on his contract, Lille should sell to the team that wants to pay the most money. Logically for them. Obviously, the decision of Leny Yoro will also be very crucial. But Spanish media are trying to portray that it's all clear for Real Madrid to get Leny Yoro, whilst Fabrizio Romano and every other single reporter is still saying that the race is still completely open between the two clubs to sign Leny Yoro this summer. And they've even mentioned that he has made a decision and told Lille, which is absolutely fake because nobody has reported this news, and I don't see it logical with Leny Yoro so close to joining Paris Saint-Germain and willing to join Paris Saint-Germain in January to absolutely switch. I could see Leny Yoro, as Fabrizio said, looking at that Real Madrid offer as a fantastic destination, but at the moment Leny Yoro has still not made a decision, and that's why at the moment I will give it like a 50% rate of him joining Paris Saint-Germain. The race is still open. Madrid, tough competition for Paris Saint-Germain. We'll have to wait until the summer. Next player we have is Joshua Kimmich, and this is regarding some recent news that came out from Plettigol. PSG are not among the options for Joshua Kimmich this summer. Again, these reports are a bit boring because I can see their game like 2-5 steps ahead. Plettigol obviously has a clear agenda against Paris Saint-Germain. He showed that last summer when he came to the Kane transfer, coming out himself and saying that, oh, Kane should accept the bid, Spurs should accept the bid so Kane can go to Bayern. That's not what a reporter does. That's not what a reporter does. And, you know, with the recent reports coming out that Fabrizio Romano is getting paid by clubs, I could definitely see the same with Plettigol. I don't know if there's a payment, but he definitely has a favorability for Bayern München and dislikement towards Paris Saint-Germain. Because recently, PSG inside Actu came out and said, they're only first approaches, but today there is interest on both sides. The player and his wife really like Paris, and at 29, it's now or never to find a new challenge. And as we all know, Bayern München will probably sell Kimmich this summer with a good, hefty fee coming in. And, you know, the linked clubs that are in for him are FC Barcelona, Manchester City, Paris Saint-Germain, and obviously still, I would still say an extension at Bayern München, depending on who the new manager comes in, could see Kimmich staying at Bayern München. They want to add Liverpool, Chelsea, just to make it interesting. That's absolutely not going to happen. It's these three clubs are remaining at Bayern München that is open for Joshua Kimmich. I'm going to give this transfer a 60%. Last but not least, the big player that has been linked with us recently is Luis Diaz of Liverpool, 27 years of age, contract expiring in 2027. With a 75 million market value. So this is a costly player. This is a player that will cost money. And this is a player where Liverpool are the A side in negotiations with him having 3 years left on his contract. But when we look deeply into the reports, it's not that concrete. PSG indeed sees Luis Diaz as an interesting name to replace Mbappe this summer. Doha is tempted by the possibility of signing him. The Colombian winger could also be tempted to leave Liverpool this summer. Luis Campos is not very keen on Luis Diaz, therefore his profile is not anonymous, which complicates things. However, internally, others like the 27-year-old Colombian player. PSG is not interested in Luis Diaz. It's just Antero Henrique pushing to place him in Paris because he has financial interest to the potential deal. So what can we take away from all of this is that Doha favors him a bit, Antero Henrique favors him a bit. We don't know about Nasser's situation regarding this transfer, but he's probably with the Doha side. But Luis Campos does not appreciate and like the profile of Luis Diaz that much and feels it's a bit overpriced. We obviously still don't know how Luis Enrique feels about this transfer or even other transfers. But with Liverpool setting a 100 million market price for Luis Diaz, I don't see Paris Saint-Germain going in for Luis Diaz, apart from if they fail on their other targets. If they can't get a Rafael Leao, if they can't get a Kvisha Kvaratskhelia for some reason, if they can't get a Marcus Rashford, I could see Luis Diaz coming to Paris Saint-Germain, and he would obviously want to upgrade on Liverpool to Paris Saint-Germain. Something that we have to follow, but at the moment, not likely to happen, nothing concrete, the price is a bit too high, and Paris Saint-Germain's interest is not that strong. I'm gonna give it a 20% likability. That's been it for the transfer news. Let me know in the comments down below, out of the 5 players, 2 players that you want at Paris Saint-Germain. That's been it for your boy PSG, and as usual, allez Paris.